Hello everyone, this is Darwell20, and welcome to episode 35 of Darwell20's Let's Play series, where today I'm just checking in on everything. How's all my stuff doing? Kelp is good, I got plenty of junk here, looking cool to me. What I want to do today is, I was gonna start working on some stuff in my workshop, but look how fast I'm running out of RF. It is not a good time. I very quickly run out of RF during the night because we're using so much of it now to power the AE system that we have. Now during the day, like in peak daytime, we're gaining a little bit. You'll see as the sun rises here, the loss will slow down and then it will overcome itself and become a gain. That said, throughout the course of an entire day, we are overall losing power. And that means that we run out. And between episodes here, I've been doing some things in my workshop and a couple other things just to kind of get ready for stuff. So if we pop over to our workshop, for example, we'll see, I kind of got some of this stuff up and running and threw a few more belts down. And in my basement, I did some other belting and prepping stuff so that everything would be spinning and ready to go. Everything's working out really nice. The only problem is, every time I've been over here to work on stuff and I open up the system, it's like 50-50 whether or not I'm going to have enough power for it. So at this point, I'm guessing, yeah, see, we're just barely gaining power now, right? So at whatever time this is in the day, we start to gain power, right? So right about there. So the sun goes from there to about there. We're gaining power, but then from there and down, we're losing it to the point where we're definitely not producing enough. And keep in mind, obviously, we're gaining a little bit, but then overnight we're gaining 0 and using just as much. So we're definitely losing far more power than we're gaining throughout the day. With all that said, I think it's time to do something besides solar. Now, in fairness, I could absolutely upgrade those solar panels, right? Like, I could absolutely take those solar Mark 5s, right, and bump them up to a tier 6, and then bump those tier 6s up to a tier 7, up to a tier 8, and get to ridiculous numbers of RF per tick. In fairness, it looks like, well, I mean, we just need some Dragon's Breath. I could pull that off. Definitely doable, right? Definitely doable. I've got all the resources to get to that ridiculous tier. That said, Dyer's not a huge fan of solar power because it's just really, like, simple and not fun to watch. Like, you guys, do you want to watch an episode of me crafting solar panels and then placing them in the world and that's it? No, that sounds boring. Let's do something more fun. So I decided I'm going to check out Advanced Generators. It's been a while since we've played with that mod. Advanced Generators has a bunch of, it's like a multi-block mod that lets you place down different blocks within a generator, and you can have multiple components that all add up, right? So for example, this composite turbine will produce power from fuel, and each composite turbine you add into your multi-block reactor produces up to 1,000 RF per tick. So that's one thing, right? There's lower tier versions of it, so the advanced turbine does 250 RF per tick, etc., etc. There's fuel air mixers, which increase fuel efficiency. There's heating chambers. There's a whole thing, right? And one of the things you can get is syngas, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've really played with this. But syngas basically converts carbon into syngas, and then you can use that syngas as a fuel in your turbine. Is that cool? And that produces power, right? So a million RF for a bucket of syngas in a turbine, assuming there's no, I think that's without any efficiency upgrades added. So that could be cool, right? So I thought what we might do is look at, like, what's a nice, efficient way to produce syngas, right? And I'm thinking probably the most straightforward way would be, carbon to syngas, aka charcoal. So let's set up a tree farm, and we'll have access to unlimited wood because we need a tree farm anyway, right? I'm tired of having to go manually do that. We'll get the wood, and then we'll turn some of the wood into coal. Does that sound like a plan? Works for me. I think it sounds like a plan. And that coal will turn into syngas, and that syngas will turn into power, and then we'll use that to generate more RF. That said, I think I'm going to build my tree farm inside a hyperbox. So I thought we could set up a hyperbox. We'd use a create tree farm mechanic to build a quick tree farm with create. Since we've been doing create for a few episodes now, might as well put it to use. And then from there, we'll see how it goes. That sound like a plan? So we'll call this the tree farm. Why can't I type the letter T in here? Okay, that's cool. Treefarm Dimension? Save and exit. That sounds cool, right? So there you go, Treefarm Dimension. Sweet. Okay, that's cool. And what we can do is just kind of start going. So tree farms and create are pretty spiffy, pretty easy to get going. You really just need a rotational mechanical bearing, right? So this guy works kind of like the pistons, except instead of pushing things forward and backwards, it'll rotate it. So any contraptions that we build will rotate. And again, we use the glue and all that stuff, and we can rotate whatever we want. So from there, we can use different machines to kind of set up a neat bit of automation. Cool. Is there an example one in here? I'm not honestly sure. So what we can do is, like, you know, use the mechanical saw to kind of rotate around. That's usually how I build a tree farm. Cool. And we'll, you know, cut down trees. That's what the saw does. And the saw, by the way, will cut down the entire tree, which is cool. So, got some plans here. We're going to see how it plays out. If I put this bucket away and put this in here. See how nice it is having this? Now, I'm going to warn you guys, at some point in this episode, I'm going to go do that, and it's going to be low on power. And we're going to have to go out of this dimension to get things going. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. Okay. So now I should be able to place the water. There we go. Sweet. Water wheel. You know what I might want to do? From Create, I want the goggles so we can see rotational force and energy. I should be able to maybe do that. Create engineer's goggles. Yep, we just need a golden sheet, which that one I do not have on AutoCraft yet. So we're going to have to go home and make one of those. So golden sheet, please. Thank you. And you. Sweet. So that goes on your head, right? So it's a head slot item. And that will let you, whenever you're looking at any create contraption or object, it gives you more information about it. So for example, let's see, if I go look at, I got something around here that I could look at, I'm sure. We went, there's got to be something I can look at, right? I know one. This stuff, right? You can see the kinetic stress, right? How much stress is being used by the system. And if you're looking at something that produces stress, for example, this windmill guy, which I may or may not be able to get to, but we'll find out. Hey, there we are, I made it. Windmill bearing, you can see how much stress it's generating, right? So the windmill bearing here generates 8,192 stress units, and then overall we're using some value of that. And as a reminder, we can totally throw down a stressometer, which again is crafted with a speedometer. I rarely use the speedometer, so I'm just going to go ahead and whack that guy and place him right in there. And then the stressometer will tell you about the entire network. So everything that these blocks are connected to, how much stress is being used, right? So overall, we're producing 8,182, and we have 6,200 remaining. We're only using about 23% of the stress units available, which is nice to know. Cool. So now, and see, look, see, it's getting low. It's not great. It's not a great situation that we're in. Gonna need more power. Hooray! So now if we're looking at this, you can see each generator makes 256 stress units at their current speed. Quick note, in previous versions of Create, the more flowing water blocks around the water wheels, the more stress units would be produced. That is no longer the case. So now you can literally just place one flowing water block and it's good. I think enough people were kind of tired of having to do that whole contraption with water, and I guess the Create devs decided to change how that operates, which is cool by me. Just makes for a nicer little quality of life thing. Cool. So from there, we should be able to get the mechanical bearing. Now, before we do that, what I will probably want, and again from Create, let's get the clutch. I think that sounds cool. Clutch ought to be a nice thing to throw down there. Boop. Okay. What the clutch is it's a block that responds to a redstone signal and will stop the rotational energy flowing through it when it receives a redstone signal. So I can place this guy down here. He won't be spinning. Turn off the redstone signal. and he should be able to spin, in theory. He might be too slow. I don't know. We'll see. If I put you there, are you going to spin? Oh, yeah, look at that. Cool. I guess you need a block on top of you to spin. Cool. All right. Neato. So that's pretty spiffy. Okay. So now, is that enough space underground here that I can, like... Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. So I can get some dirt. Oh, boy, we don't have any of that. I can get some dirt. Yeah, we're pretty good on dirt. Okay, good. So in theory, I'm thinking we would want something like this, right? And I think a cool way to build this would be with my building gadget with a horizontal row. Horizontal row builds away from you X number of blocks. So if I do this, it should build 5 blocks away from me, right? Including the block I'm on, right? So block I'm on plus 4 to get to 5 total. That sound cool? I probably want to bring that one further, okay? And that should be a nice... Perfect. Cool. And then we can get down there and mess around with this whole setup as needed. Cool. Okay, good deal. And then if I wanted to, I could set up like this, and then that'll get me there and to there, and then we're good. Nice. Okay, cool. So from there, I'm probably going to want radial chassis to come off of this guy. Radial chassis work like the linear chassis, except radially. So let's build those down. And I'm not quite sure how many we're going to need, but we'll figure it out, okay? So with these, it will do a radius, okay? Distance for stickiness. And I'm thinking 5-ish is where I'm going to want to be, but we'll find out if I'm wrong or not. Okay. And then from here, we're going to want some kind of thing that we're going to use. So we'll do this, and then we'll put some saws down. Now let's give that a try, shall we? We're going to flip this lever and see if things are rotating the way we want. Nope. Okay, I might need to sticky it. That's fine. I always forget the rules of glue. But I think if I do that, what it should do is... yeah, see when I'm doing this, it's saying, oh yeah, I got you. All these things are together now. Cool. All right, not too shabby. Oh, network dead. See, low power. So I'll show you guys what I've been doing to solve. See, offline. This is why we're doing the thing we're doing. So I'll show you guys what I've been doing to manage between episodes. It's not a thing that you can do long term, but it's a thing that works nonetheless. There you go. That'll hold us over for a little bit of time. Not a lot of time, but a little bit of time. See? Getting lots of power now. Crisis averted, right? No, not even a little bit. And what was I going to get there? Saplings, that's right. Cool. All right, into the box we go. Nice. Okay, so that's looking good. Very, very cool. Now, what I'm thinking we would do from there, let's try doing it a little different than I normally do this. I'm going to do a slight variation of my normal design. Is that where I want that? Or do I want it? Can I remove that? Oh yeah, I can. Sweet. Maybe here? Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is right. I kind of feel like... Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to make my brass hands into deployers. For that, I need electron tubes. So I'm going to need this. I'm going to need some sandpaper. And then we're going to sandpaper these dudes. And then we can turn this into these. And then I can make some deployers. Not bad. We're going to want a few more deployers, so why don't I get more rose quartz here. 16 seems like a number that I could make. There we go. Okay, you go away for a minute, you turn into that, and then I'm going to need some more of these. Why don't I just knock them all out? Cool. There we go. Nice. Now, I feel like you want these to be one block like, I think that's too close to the ground. I think you want that to be one block further. But let's find out. So we can put an oak sapling here, and that'll say, hey, you do oak saplings, okay? Now, if we look at this guy, it's funny because, like, this one figured out, but this one didn't figure out to include the deployer. But that's okay. We will include the deployer. Let's get a chest going here. So if I do that, will you figure out? Nope, you did not figure out. So if I super glued that, are you gonna acknowledge that, dude, or what? Oh, you're doing the selected position thing. Okay, never mind. So yeah, then what we need to do is, or what I could do is super glue this and put the chest here, and now he would include the chest. Cool. Now if I put saplings in there, will you be able to place them? Nope, because you're not including that when you move. So I would like you filter that guy. I'm going to do this, right? And then that will include all those things. And that'll be room for the thing to run. Now, he should be running. But like I said, I'm pretty sure he's too close to the ground. He's also facing the wrong direction, so that's not helping anyone. Dyer, please. There you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's too close to the ground. Not a problem. We just move this whole thing up one. Got an idea. Just for funsies. Let's settings menu clear you. Oh, right, you're going to be in that way, huh? So realistically, what we'd want to do is that, right? Sweet. Hey, it even remembered the... How do you know that? How did you remember that? Was it? Oh, right, because cut and paste copies that kind of data. That's right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cut and paste does copy that data, right? So, in theory, that should be cool, and he should be able to place saplings. Look at him go. Sweet. All right, now we just replicate that setup a little bit, okay? So you're going to I just want you guys to be the same. Please be the same for like 8 seconds. That works. Okay. So we specify that it's saplings get placed in there, right? Saplings go in the chest. Okay. And then you should be cool. Nice. That works, right? That ain't terrible. Okay, now we just need you to grow. which luckily I have a spell for that. Okay, and then we'll see if this... Aha! Look at it go. Not bad, right? Not too shabby. So then the saws will cut the thing, and the deployers will place more saplings. Pretty cool, right? By the way, those saws hurt, so don't stand in front of them. I think they hurt, right? Oh yeah, see, they hurt. Okay, so hey, that ain't terrible. Nice. Now, it will only turn back into blocks when we turn off this lever. And when we do that, it'll remove all the saplings that are placed in the area where the blocks are. So be aware of the fact that when you turn this off, all those saplings will pop off the ground, right? Now we got a bunch of junk in here, right? Let's get this junk out of here. For that, we're going to need a very special and magical block from Create that allows the contraptions to interact with blocks in the world. And that is this guy, the portable storage interface. We're going to need 2 of them. Okay, what this does is connects to another portable storage interface and hands off items. Okay, now I'm thinking about how I'm going to do that, and that seems a little trickier than it probably should be. But what I'm essentially going to need is the following. Let's get an ender chest. Do I want an ender chest? Is an ender chest what I want? I think an ender chest is probably what I eventually want. I'm thinking probably what I eventually want, but for now we'll go with an iron chest. Okay, and let's set it up like this. If I'm not mistaken, okay, and I want to use laser IO for this, and you'll find out why. I promise there's a good reason for laser IO. Aside from the fact that, you know, it's a cool mod that I like using. I want my card holder. And give me those nodes. Okay. So I'm pretty sure the way I'm going to want this set up is you're going to go here to here. Technically, I don't think you even need 2 of them. I think what I could do is put you here. Okay. And then we could have a deployer set up like this. And then a block gap. Now let's just make sure, but you should not be included. See how the deployer is not being highlighted, or the interface is not being highlighted there? Because that's important. We don't want that to happen, right? And then what if I put you there? Would you be highlighted? No. Good, good, good. Now I want you highlighted, so we're going to do this to this. Now when we look at you guys, in theory, you should be... Did you work? Yeah, you're good. So that should be cool. Now, deployers won't auto-output items, but what'll happen, if I turn this guy on again, is when he comes around, he should stop for a second, connect up, and then continue moving. At that moment, when it's connected, you're allowed to extract items out of any inventories on the contraption, so any chests or anything. So at this point, we're going to extract everything. However, we don't want to get rid of all the saplings, right? So our concern here is that we don't want all the saplings taken out of the chest. We want at least a few saplings available to continue placing stuff. And that's why I'm using Laser IO, because Laser IO has a very nice component for this. Let's get out of here so that we're not getting chewed up by things, right? So on the portable storage interface side, here's how we're going to play this. You ready? You are going to extract. The white channel's fine. But we're going to filter, and we're going to deny saplings. Okay? So don't take out saplings. Right? Now, over here, we're going to insert on white. And what should happen is when he stops, he will go ahead and extract... well, you would think that would work, but it kind of didn't. Why are you not stopping for long enough? Do you need to extract faster? I mean, I could get some speed upgrades, right? I could. Do I have speed upgrades already? I feel like I have one. It's probably not going to be enough, is it? Nope. Oh, look, he did stop and extract stuff. Good. Okay. Maybe, because there's a delay here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you're going to operate every tick. Okay? So speed and ticks is 1 now. So he'll immediately start extracting whatever he's got. Cool. So now let's get you grown. Right. And then you should stop, extract some items, and then continue along your merry way. Now, in fairness, okay, we've got plenty of saplings that we're going to need to get going. Okay. There we go. Sweet. And now he's extracting all his stuff. Look at that. Look at him go. Good job, you. So now let's add another extractor here. And your job will be to counting filter saplings, but a stack. So remember, with Laser IO, if you filter with the counting filter on the extract side, it will extract everything but that amount. So like, because I put 64 in there, it will take any more than 64 saplings. So if there's 68 saplings in there, it'll take 4 out and only leave 64 behind. Cool. Good deal. So that should be good. Okay. So you're extracting 64 saplings, right? And that transfer amount can just be 8 at a time. That's fine. So now he won't overfill with saplings, because without that, he would eventually just be a chest full of saplings and have no room for the logs or the sticks or the apples. And eventually, we will have enough saplings in there. Cool. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that this is just going to grow on its own. Like, do trees need light? Because I could throw a feral flare lantern in here. Sweet. Yeah, so that's kind of working, right? Isn't that working? I think that's working. Alright, so we'll leave that to go for a minute. I need some more power. I think Feral Flare Lantern is in my future. I assume it's nighttime because we don't have any power in the A system. Let's go. Okay. Now let's get a Feral Flare Lantern real quick, just to make things nice and well lit in there. And then I'm going to call that a completed tree farm in a hyperbox. Not, ouch, too shabby. Cool. Now you light up the whole area for me. A little quicker than that, please. Let's go. Not bad, right? And then in theory, that should work. That should be cool. Right? Pretty sure trees need a little bit of light in order to grow, don't they? Pretty sure. Yeah, I like doing this in a hyperbox. That was a neat idea, because now it's super easy to kind of just self-contained and do its own little thing. That should be cool. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes, and then we'll be back to make sure that everything's running fully automated. I don't actually have to be here and do nothing. Cool. So when I come back in a few minutes, we should have more oak logs and possibly even some saplings. But considering we haven't fully fleshed out our dirt with saplings yet, we know that we're using all the saplings we've got to place more so far. Well, trees are growing, so that's probably a good sign, right? I've been sitting here for a few minutes, starting to question my own sanity as to whether or not trees grow underground, and having played plenty of stone block maps, I know that they in fact do. But it took a while, but eventually they started growing on their own, so that's cool. Out of curiosity, I did decide to try throwing one of these Terra Preta blocks under one of the saplings. It says below farmland, so I don't know if it actually affects. But I haven't seen that one grow yet, so I don't know if it's actually doing anything, but long story short, we've been having a few trees growing, so that's cool. So eventually, like I said, we'll have some semblance of, you know, saplings building up inside there. I think you might be able to see it, but we'll see. Oh, look, another natural growth. Good, 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 good. Cool. And it should be really no problem because these entities don't get stuck on blocks. So it should be okay if trees grow into where the blocks are. See? Not a problem for them. And it never actually turns back into blocks. Unless we stop it with a break. Cool. Alright, so I call that a working tree farm. Now all I really need to do is replace this chest with an ender chest. And kind of go from there. Okay? So what we'll do, let's see, I kind of want to look at this guy. Do you have any kind of... No, not really. You're not gonna tell me what's on your contraption, are you? Yeah, I can't really see the contraption. That's okay. Eventually, we should see saplings show up in here. So what I'll do is I'll kind of just wait until saplings start showing up. But yeah, they should, in theory. Okay, wrapping up point. Direwolf20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time. And when we get back, I'm going to work on advanced generators. So we'll start making advanced generators, and we'll do syngas and power. Whether I do that in a hyperbox or not, I haven't yet decided, but we'll figure it out. But for now, wrapping up point. So hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.